If you have a credit card, there's a high chance you're using it wrong, not because you're irresponsible, not because you're bad with money, but because nobody actually taught you how it works beyond the surface level. You were told, use it to build credit, pay the minimum on time, earn rewards, be responsible. Sounds simple, but here's the problem. Most people think using a credit card correctly means not missing payments. That's it. As long as they don't default, they think they're doing fine. But that's not the real standard. The real standard is this. If your credit card costs you money instead of making your financial position stronger, you're using it wrong. And for most people, it quietly costs them. Not dramatically, not overnight, but slowly, subtly, in ways that don't feel dangerous until years pass. Credit cards are one of the most powerful financial tools ever created. They can build your score, increase your leverage, protect your purchases, give you liquidity, provide rewards, but they can also lock you into high-interest debt, destroy your cash flow, reduce your financial flexibility, train you into overspending, and the scary part, you can be responsible and still use them wrong. So today we're not talking about extreme debt stories. We're talking about normal people, people with jobs, people who pay on time, people who think they're doing fine, and why most of them are still misusing the system. Let's destroy the first myth. Paying the minimum does not mean you're managing your card correctly. It means you're staying eligible. That's it. The minimum payment exists for one reason, to keep you in the system without panicking. If you owe $2,000 and your minimum payment is $60, that feels manageable. You tell yourself, I'm handling it. At least I'm not late. But here's what's really happening. Interest continues to compound. Your balance barely moves. You stretch the repayment timeline dramatically. At 20% interest, carrying a balance can double the real cost of what you bought. That $1,000 purchase, it can quietly become $1,300, $1,500, sometimes more. And the worst part? It doesn't feel painful enough to force change. That's why it works so well. If you are carrying a balance month to month, you are not using your credit card. Your credit card is using you. Correct usage rule number 1, you either pay the full statement balance every month or you accept that you are borrowing at high interest. There is no middle ground. This one is subtle. You don't consciously say, I have $5,000 available, let me spend it. But psychologically, that limit changes your perception of affordability. Your brain adjusts upward. Suddenly, a slightly more expensive dinner feels fine. Upgrading your phone feels justified. Booking that trip feels manageable. Why? Because the limit exists, but your credit limit is not your budget. It's the bank's risk tolerance. That number has nothing to do with your income, your savings, or your goals. It's simply what the bank believes you might repay with interest. When you mentally anchor to your limit instead of your bank balance, you detach spending from reality. Correct usage rule number 2. Your spending should be based on cash you already have, not credit available. The credit card should be a payment method, not a financing strategy. If you cannot pay it off immediately from money sitting in your account, you're using it wrong. Now let's talk about something most people don't even think about. Credit utilization. This is the percentage of your credit limit you're using. If your limit is $10,000 and your balance is $5,000, you're at 50% utilization. And that matters because high utilization signals risk to lenders. Even if you pay on time, many people damage their credit score not because they miss payments, but because they consistently run high balances. And here's where misuse becomes strategic ignorance. Your credit score is not built by carrying debt, it's built by demonstrating control, low utilization, on-time payments, long history, responsible management. Carrying balances does not help your score. That's a myth. In fact, it can lower it. Correct usage rule number 3. Keep utilization under 30%, ideally under 10%, and pay your statement in full. The goal isn't to look like someone who needs credit. The goal is to look like someone who controls it. This is one of the most dangerous illusions. Cashback, points, miles, travel perks. They feel like free money. But here's the reality. If you pay interest, rewards mean nothing. A 2% cashback card does not offset 20% interest, and not even close. Banks don't lose money on rewards programs. They've done the math. Rewards encourage spending. Spending increases balances. Balances increase interest revenue. If you pay in full every month, rewards are a bonus. If you carry a balance, rewards are bait. Correct usage rule number 4. Chase rewards only after mastering discipline. Never spend more to earn points. Never justify purchases because of cashback. Rewards should be a side effect of spending you were already going to do, not the reason for it. Now let's define it clearly. Using your credit card correctly looks like this. You treat it like a debit card. You track spending weekly. You never carry a balance. You keep utilization low. You use it for protection and convenience, not survival. You don't rely on it. You don't justify with it. You don't emotionally negotiate with it. You control it. And here's the bigger perspective. A credit card is leverage. Leverage amplifies behavior. If you're disciplined, it multiplies advantages. If you're impulsive, it multiplies damage. That's why two people can use the same financial tool and have completely different outcomes. It's not about intelligence. It's not about income. It's about structure. The difference between financially stable and financially stressed is often not how much they earn, but how much interest they're paying. So if you want to know whether you're using your credit card correctly, ask yourself, can I pay this off today without stress? If the answer is no, you're financing your lifestyle. And financing consumption at high interest is one of the fastest ways to delay wealth building. Credit cards are not evil. They are neutral. But neutrality in a powerful system favors those who understand it. So don't aim to not mess up. Aim to master it. Because when you understand the rules, credit becomes a tool. And when you don't, it becomes a trap. And the line between those two outcomes is thinner than most people realize.